The system is it's quite a revolutionary platform in which documents are uploaded, stored, and transferred to beneficiaries. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go along. You see it here. First of all, my name is Sal Sophia with IQS Insurance, and we have with us Ian Bayless, the Vice President of Marketing and IT Technology, with us to help get this information to you. So you see it right here for insurance agents, financial advisors, and CPAs. This is an excellent model for CPAs to bring into their practice. It really gives a CPA or a tax preparer, accountant, the ability to be, for once, proactive rather than reactive, and monitor, the life-changing events as well as documents and statements that are continually coming into the system. So, what is it? What is this? This Smart Vault sales system, as we call it. It's a tool that's used. It's first of all manufactured by Legacy Armor, who is the software product design team. We'll talk a little bit more about them. But it's a personal and business organizational storage, security transfer, and final wishes document retention tool that uses artificial intelligence. And what it does is it facilitates what documents, when, and how, and to whom all of those persons, or even a business usage in business, for example, agreements and items of that nature, will be passed to the recipients that they need to go to. This is done using artificial intelligence, what they call heartbeat monitoring, which will identify that beneficiary recipient at the precise time that document needs to go to them. So this is a major play in the estate planning market, as you can probably get the sense of. So the internal system helps advisors, agents, CPAs, attorneys continuously monitor their life activities and offer their services throughout the person's or business's lifetime. For the first time, because there's been no system in place that we're aware of that follows life events as they happen in real time. This system will do that. So if you can imagine, every time a person has a, let's say, life insurance policy, if you're in that business, and uploads and stores that information, you as the advisor will get to see it. You also will have contact with that person because we integrate, and that's what the system does, is it puts that advisor within the consumer end user's platform. So that's a powerful place to be. And, who couldn't do more sales if you really knew what documents people had and could guide them accordingly. But why was the system created in the first place? I'm sure some of you are aware of the fact that insurance companies, primarily life insurance companies, have failed to deliver death claims. It's really no secret. There's been billions of dollars that have been not paid, unaccounted for, and unclaimed assets for various reasons. And legislature right now and regulations have really put the burden of responsibility on life insurers to really go find beneficiaries. They're still not able to do it. That's where this system comes in. It actually will connect the dots. And you'll get to see some of that in a minute. So the insurance industry has failed to deliver its promises. And I think we have, as advisors and planners, we have an obligation to lead our clients to a proper financial management. There's been obviously people don't know what they have. They don't know who it goes to. We could talk, all day long about these stories. People pass away and nobody knows where anything is. This will solve that problem. So why is it some of the monies never got passed? Beneficiaries never knew there was a policy to make a claim on. I'm sure you've heard about cases like that. Insurers have no way to monitor the death of their insured. Policy owners even misplace policies or forget that they had insurance, either group or personal insurance. And I've had experiences like that where, 10 years go by and all of a sudden a letter comes into them and, hey, the decedent had a policy in place with their employer. So insurance agents also, we take some responsibility in failing to maintain relationships with the insured and failing to notify beneficiaries. So we will make sure that that no longer happens, right? We want to make sure that we're on top of our client relationship and guiding them every step of the way. So here's a question for you. If you've ever been in the field working in someone's home, if you're a financial advisor, planner, investment advisor, life insurance agent, property casualty agent, has anyone ever asked you to help them sort through all of the paperwork and tell them what to keep or what to throw away? It's happened to me on countless times. They would just hand over everything. Say, can you do me a favor and go through all of this stuff here? I've been saving it for 10 years, So the idea behind the system comes about because the days of old insurance agents made a living, and the insurance industry was really set up by having agents present in the home. That's what this system will do. It will recreate home visits, but using technology to keep an advisor continually in the home and aware of every move the client makes. So Legacy Armor, a high-tech, award-winning company, put the system together, and they've created the first cradle-to-grave life monitoring system using AI, as we say, allowing the an advisor and their client. The system provides for the user to upload everything meaningful to them that needs to someday be retrieved, and creates the advisor platform to address the contents and needs of the person's life on a real-time basis. Here's an example of what can be stored and protected in the system, and what the platform advisors are able to see and discuss. Financial statements, insurance policies, retirement accounts, legal documents, health directives, properties and other assets, business agreements and assets, and even more, personal memorabilia, photos, videos, recipes. It goes on and on. It's just one of the best storage facilities that anyone could have. And with your help as an advisor, you can make sure that they're doing the right thing every step of the way. If you had access to these documents, would you be in a better position to do business? Is it important for you to know life-changing events that occur in order to make recommendations? And if you answered yes to these questions, then this tool potentially could be for you. Why? Because it will change the way insurance and financial planners make their practice and improve their practice by being able to see documents and knowing every time a new document is uploaded. Having knowledge of the family. In the platform, we're able to see and know and have a relationship with the beneficiaries, the recipients, the estate planners. This is huge. So with that, you're able to offer your clients and prospects, opening doors to more new relationships and being able to offer the products and services that you are able to help them with. So summing it up, and we're going to put Ian on here in a minute, and Ian is going to be able to display the tool for us over the next 10 or 15 minutes. But here are some of the summary points. Legacy Armor creates the platform to upload estate planning documents. And by the way, what we didn't say so far is that there are some other really valuable tools that are, built into the system. We'll go through that. One of them is a life insurance quoter tool that your clients could use, which makes it really easy for that discussion to happen when you get notified that they have an insurance policy or even don't have an insurance policy. How does that sound? For the first time, you actually know whether or not they actually have something or not. So the legacy planning checklist that we have will keep track of your progress. We use encrypted vaults to secure all of your important information with timely delivery of the documents to designated recipients based on based on death, incapacitation, or a manual group that's chosen. They supply a wallet card to the consumer, a delivery date based on death, as I said, personalized messages, and annual reminders to the advisors to keep recipient information up to date. And the consumer gets that as well. So we'll open it up for some questions, but first what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the tool itself and show you how it works. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Ian Bayless, who's going to bring this system to you so you can take a look at it. What we're looking at is the inside of the Legacy Armor client management console, which every one of the advisors who enroll in the platform will have. This allows you to enroll as many clients as you want. They don't have to be clients. They could be friends, family, prospects, people you don't know that you'd like to get to know, and have a discussion with them about a very meaningful tool that they should have in their life. So the advisor management console is where it all starts, because without entering anyone in here and without offering this product to anyone, nothing will happen. We're back to square one. So if you really have a passion for the business and you really believe that this is the right thing to do, to be able to monitor, to guide people effectively toward their life planning and life events, and for the way, we have to offer the tool. And that's part of what we're doing, is we're reaching out to advisors and larger distribution networks to get this into the hands of really everyone. This is a global problem. This is not isolated to the United States, actually. So you can see how powerful this is, because this is like the Band-Aid that really will stop the bleeding in everyone's lives. So you'll see here these vaults, and there are four vaults that could be customized, and the names of these vaults could be changed. This is what the consumer or your client end user would see. And you see them here. You can label one for my family, for my financial estate planners, health directives, medical information, and then a custom vault. You could rename any of these. But this gives you an idea of what the vaults look like. You'll see on the top here a life planning progress bar. This is pretty neat, actually, because it provides a checklist on the spot to the user to be able to now identify some of the meaningful materials that should be stored and protected for them, past, and passed down the road when they need to be. But this guides them, and every time something is input into any one of these areas, you as the advisor get notified. So this alert will come to you and say, hey, Joe, your client, has uploaded some information. You can get right back on that with that client and discuss that. Make sure that it's legible. Make sure that it's appropriate. Blah blah blah, and take it from there. We also have an IQS checklist. We won't show that to you now, but it's very detailed. It's as much as you possibly imagine that could be protecting people's information. So we have that as well. And you can see here on the top, if you just look at the top left, it says my estate plan. And pardon me for rapidly moving along. It's just that we planned this on a 30-minute meeting, and there's a lot of material that we have to go through, but this is the best we could do for now. But you can see my estate plan. So the system offers a free will, and it is free. It's a free will that's set up by U.S. Legal. It doesn't cost the client anything. It's more than just a will. It's a simple will, power of attorney, healthcare proxy, directives. It's not a trust. It's not a living trust, but this gets the conversation started. So when you offer this tool and offer this platform to someone, you're now setting them up with something we already know. The majority of people do not have a will, and if they do, it's not valid. All of that, we can go on forever there. So this takes care of that, and people will be able to use that, and you can help people move in the right direction. The second part you see there is a term insurance quoter. I alluded to that a little bit earlier, that there will be a live feed premium quote engine that advisors could use or the clients could use. to determine what premiums are for various insurance policies. These are life insurance policies. These will be term insurance policies with the major carriers. Would not be quotes for whole life or index life or anything like that. So you can also now find them along the way. And by the way, everything we're talking about here does not, obligate you or any advisor to pass any business to us or to anyone else. But continue to do business the way you normally do business and have your business flow the same way. You'll see my vaults here. And that's really what you're looking at here is the 4 vaults. And right back to that page. And then on the right, you'll see my recipients. Just a little bit about what that means. A recipient, for the purpose of a client, really is a beneficiary. Who stands?
Hey, Sal, hold on 1 second, please. Hey, Jason, can you please mute yourself? All right. I guess he's doing other things.
Notified if the client passes away. Have they made any provisions for that? How is the material going to get in that beneficiary's hands? Right now, there is no. We already know that people have failed to do any kind of planning with their documents, and whether it's property deeds, whether it's the wills and trusts, insurance policies, assets, bank accounts, website passwords. We could go on and on. It's almost like people live for 80 years and really, haven't done really any proper planning. It's just a sad state. Anyway, what you're looking at here is how to deliver these documents, and you could do this either by choosing a manual delivery date. So somebody could say, well, I want my daughter Betsy to be able to have access to our will or to our trust or access to whatever documents it is when she reaches age 35 or 40. And at that time, because we'll have the information on the beneficiary, at that time, these documents will go to that beneficiary. Actually, the recipient beneficiary will get, a notification, an email from the system saying you have, documents that need to be retrieved. Here's here's how you retrieve it. You'll need the password and the advisor. This is so important. That's why this system is fabulous, because it requires you to be involved to make sure that this happens. I mean, there's nothing easy about anything, but this is perhaps the best way for us to help our clients direction and do things the right way as far as estate planning is concerned, especially. So we have a manual delivery by date, death, or incapacitation. So when somebody passes away, how does the insurance company know right now that somebody passed away? They really don't. Maybe they're scrubbing some of the Social Security death rolls. It's possible now because they never did. But so this system does that. It also drips on the client to make sure that they're still alive, that there's been no change in their health. This is a very important part of the system because, as an advisor, we also want to make sure that the life hasn't changed, right? So this system does the work for us in that regard. So they could select up to two recipient beneficiaries. What we're looking at here is delegates. I'm sorry about that. In addition to the recipients, there are delegates. Let's just talk about that for a minute. Who's a delegate? You're a delegate. I'm a delegate. I'm a platform advisor. I'm the person that assists them with their life planning and the life monitoring. I'm the person that encourages them to continue to do the right thing and reward them, even for putting all of their things away that they should be putting away. Folks, this has never been done before. So if it sounds a little strange, it may be, but all good things take a little time. This system is going to change the way I think advisors practice. So they can choose delegates. They could choose you. They could choose their Aunt Millie. But if they do that, and they could choose both, but if they choose Aunt Millie's not going to know anything about the system. So you are in control. And it's easy to do. You just add, they add the delegate. You could do it for them. You could put it in the system for them and say, hey, is your son or daughter responsible? Who's the responsible party if something were to happen? Let's get them in here. And bingo, striking a conversation now with the beneficiary. By the way, for so many years, people buy life insurance policies and the agents, fill out the applications and they have the beneficiary named, but nothing happens from there. Don't you think the beneficiary has an obligation at some point in time to know what their responsibilities are? I do. And the client does too, because they wouldn't be making premium payments for 30 years if they felt that it was all going to be, for no reason. So it's very simple to upload the information. If you ask people now where they store their documents, it's pretty funny. They tell you, well, it's still in my email. Okay. And insurance companies now are email policy people. So the days of paper are going away very quickly. So people put them in their computer. The computer could be hacked. The computer could break down. Nobody else knows that information is in the computer. So what good is it? So now the person has the ability to scan the files, put it in the system, have a direction of where those files need to go, have you as an advisor be the conduit, the point person, making sure these things are being done properly. If you want to charge the client for it, go right ahead. You should, because this life planning profession is being born as we speak. So you can take it in whatever direction you want. So it's very easy to upload the files and then help your client manage them properly. Let's see. We have about 5 minutes left. Ian, did we leave a particular piece out here before we get to some questions? Is there another piece that we should be looking at?
No, we explained kind of fast, but let's open up for questions because we only have 5 more minutes left in this webinar. And of course, we can meet with people one-on-one to talk about it as well.
So if there's any particular questions, you can ask it now, or you can email us later, or you can get back to me.
And you would have to unmute yourself in order to ask a question.
Yep. So there's a platform membership fee that's paid to us. We struck a great deal with Legacy Armor as a national distributor to help push this forward for them. We provide that deep discount to all of our advisors. They're not my advisors, but they're people who have the platform. And that discount could be shared with your clients. It's about an 80% discount off of what the retail will be. Plus, they're going to have you manage their life effectively. So there's a membership for that. Right now, it's $49 a month. That's what it is. That's all it is, believe it or not. And we see horror stories of agents who are paying. I had a conversation with somebody paying $2,000 a month for annuity leads. And, basically, he's talking to us because they don't work. So this works, and we're able to help train you in it, guide you, share with you opportunities and ways in which you could grow your practice by acquiring more clients and prospects. There's so much more to say and talk about. It's probably best to, give us a call or give us some feedback and then work with you individually on it. By the way, you could share this in a large channel. There's so much distribution in this that we haven't even, scratched the surface. Any questions before we sign off?